All right, Hack for Hap around the house. I wanted to bring you a new product. I didn't even know they made these. It's a Titan brake line cutter for 3/16, and it's pretty doggone nice. Now, up till now, I've just used rigid cutters, which are good. But if you've got a line that's in a bad spot, let's say if your line is on the car and it's really tight, you cannot get these around. It's just too tight. You got to end up taking stuff off and moving your line out so that you can get enough swing for the actual cutter around. It's just too tight. You got to end up taking stuff off and moving your line out so that you can get enough swing for the actual cutter. These are awesome. Rigid makes a really good product. I am nothing but impressed with the Titan, though. This Titan just really does a good job. The packaging is nice too because you can store it in it. I store all my Titan stuff right in the packaging because it just works so great. Keeps everything together. But let me show you how this works. I've cut a whole bunch of different lines. I've cut some stainless steel line. I've done some cutting on this regular steel line. I just want to give you a quick demo. If you're working on a car and it's tight, man, this works good. There's no adjusting to it. You've got a little cutter wheel in there. Let's see if I can show you this a second. See that little cutter wheel in there? That's spring loaded. Comes spring loaded from the factory, so there's constant pressure on your line, so you don't have to adjust it. Like with even this little one from Rigid, if you're even using it in tight quarters and you spin it, you've got to tighten this down all the time. So every time you make a rotation, you tighten it down a little bit. If your hands get greasy and oily, it'll slip. It's really difficult sometimes to even use this, but this is so easy. Watch. I'm going to show you how it works a sec. It has a ratchet, so if you're in a tight quarter, you just ratchet it, right? It works great like that too. I'm impressed with it. I didn't know these existed. Wish I knew a long time ago, because doing brake lines, sometimes you really need a tool like this. I think this is $35-40, something like that, and it's phenomenal. So what you do is you take your line and you jam it in like that. You hear that click? That means it's seated home. Nothing to worry about. It's already in there. But like with a lot of them, you really can't hold it with your hand. It's just too much pressure. So what you have to do, don't do this, number one. Don't do this. I'll show you. You can do this, but you really shouldn't do this. Because what will happen is if it spins just a little bit, I'll show you as soon as this cuts. We're almost through. See how that's wiggling though? I just took the coating off my steel line. That's a big no-no because that's going to rust. And if you're living in any sort of state that uses salt, that's going to rust through. So what I do is I just grab my double flare tool, slide her on like this, grab my 10mm, and tighten the clamshell down so that it holds it tight. That's all you need. You don't have to go crazy on it. But see, then it can't spin. Look at that. Cuts right through it. And if you are really close to the frame, you don't have to remove any of the holders that are plastic that are going to break the very second you even think about touching them. They break, right? So you don't want to interrupt anything more than you have to when you're doing brake lines. Easier is definitely better because nobody wants to do it. And I really don't want to pay, some sort of a garage, $300 to do the brake lines on my car. Oh, it sounds like we have a thunderstorm going on outside. So I'll do another trim here, another cut here. So you just have to line that up, put it on. You'll hear it click. There it is. It's on. And now you can do it like this too, of course, because it locks. That's how quick it is. And look at that's not bad at all. That looks just like when I use the Rigid to cut it. Now I have lots of videos showing just this actual tool doing double flares. It is so much easier than the traditional double flare. Let me grab that a sec. These old tools compared to this tool, oh my gosh. This induces swearing and gnashing of teeth and anger because it's not, once you use it a lot, you get the hang of it. But with this, you don't have to get the hang of anything, man. You just use it and go. And this makes it so much easier to do a job on a car. So if you're in a tight situation, you don't even have to worry about it. This fits right in. Now let's cut a piece of stainless steel line, shall we? Yeah, you've got a little one right here. Right there. Let's cut a little piece of stainless steel line. So let's take our double flare, loosen it up, knock that out of there, put in our stainless steel line. We'll go from the back, how's that? Loosen that up maybe a little bit more, huh? There we go. All right, stainless steel line's in. Tighten that down a little bit, and just give her a little bit of, that won't move on us. Now let's cut a piece of stainless steel line with the Titan. Again, you should hear it click. There it is. Now you can ratchet it, or again, you can just go around and around, just like that. And that thing goes flying across the room. But there's our cut. And it isn't bad. It isn't bad. It's so much easier than these. Or this. Hap for Hap Around the House. I'd like to thank Titan. They sent this to me to do a little review on. And it is definitely worth buying. Something else that's pretty cool about this Titan is that you can take a 1/4-inch extension. And there's a little, I guess it's a die when they cast this plastic. And it's pretty hard plastic. When they cast that, they left a little void there for a 1/4-inch extension to fit in there. So if whatever you're trying to reach inside your car or truck for your brake line is way inside the internal guts of the car, you can use a little extension to get a little bit further in there, so you don't have to stand on your head so much you get cramps in your neck. All right, Hap for Hap Around the House. If you liked the video, hit the like button. Consider subscribing to our channel. And down below, we have links to Amazon to buy all of our different tools that we show here. And we'll see you next time on Hap for Hap Around the House.